Now, if you think things have been a bit quiet on the old smart car front, you'd be quite right. But that's because they've been preparing for an all-new model offensive, which has now arrived. In fact, signs of change are that a dealership a stone's throw from me has just opened. It's Sandown Smart, and it is the biggest smart dealership in the UK, so they're clearly anticipating a lot of orders for this car. This is the brand new Smart ForFour, and as the name suggests, it seats four. The engine is actually in the back, like a Porsche 911, though to be fair, that's probably one of the only traits it shares with a Porsche 911. It's powered by a 999cc three-cylinder petrol engine that produces 71 brake horsepower. Power is then sent to the rear wheels. I have to say that this little city car looks quite funky. It's quite clean in its design, it's very modern. I think it's definitely showing the direction that Smart are going to go in. We're seeing sort of like an almost Apple-esque design. It's all very premium inside and out. Heading inside, one of the big reasons for putting that engine at the back is to create more interior space, because whilst you don't have an engine up front, you can move everything forwards in the cabin. And as a result, it does feel really nice, light and airy in here. It seats four. Okay, legroom in the back maybe is a little bit of a squeeze for tall adults, but there's loads of headroom. Something else that boosts headroom in here is this fabric top. Push of a button sees it retract and fold backwards. No nonsense, you can do it on the move. And it's nice on warmer days than this to let some of the sunshine in. And yeah, it's a really nice little option to have on this car. The interior as a whole is really nice. It's a very clean design. We've got sort of this floating tablet arrangement here that houses a very good, actually, touchscreen infotainment system. It's all quite nicely animated. Lots of manufacturers sort of skimp on the software that their touchscreen units use. Smart haven't. It's really intuitive, and it's really nice to look at, actually. The rest of the interior is really nice to look at. We've got sort of these little pods that sprout out of the dashboard for air vents. There's lots of really high quality materials used throughout. It's a really interesting place to be. Something else I really like is that the rev counter is in like its own little unit up here. That's quite funky. And there's lots of other little touches, like the air conditioning down here with its little horizontal dial that goes across. That's quite sort of like a futuristic take on something quite retro. I really like that. And in here there's plenty of little cubby and storage space. Ingress and egress is nice and easy because those doors open very wide. Boot space is cut down because the engine sits in the boot floor, but for a city car it's sort of par for the course. Boot space is never really the biggest priority for these sorts of machines. This new Smart ForFour is built on the same platform as the new Renault Twingo, and that means it shares its amazing ability to do a tighter turning circle than a London cab. That's further reflected when you're driving it around town. It's nice and nimble. With that tight turning circle, you can duck and dive through traffic. It's super easy to park because of its size. I will say the rear visibility is maybe not the best. I would advise the parking camera on this car. But around town, it's an absolute joy. Nice light steering, nice light gear change from this 5-speed manual. It is an ideal little city car. This model will do over 68 mpg and emit just 97 grams per kilometre of CO2, so it's cheap to run as well. Negatives? Well, this is very definitely a city car. It's at home in the urban sprawl. Take it out onto a motorway and it feels a little bit lacklustre, and don't expect any bold overtaking manoeuvres. It does obviously only have about 71 brake horsepower. Also, at low speed, the ride can be a little bit choppy. This obviously irons out a little bit once you gain some momentum. It's not terrible, it's just something to note. This specific car, being the Prime model, gets heated leather seats, TomTom satellite navigation, and some very snazzy alloy wheels. This new Smart ForFour is sure to delight Smart owners who like something a bit different, something that's a bit out of the ordinary and in a really compact, neat size. In a world where cities are getting busier and more congested, small city cars like this make a lot of sense. Entry-level cars start at just over £11,500, which is more expensive than competitors, but then it could be argued you are buying a premium product. Smart is, of course, owned by Mercedes-Benz. In conclusion, is this new Smart a smart idea? I'd say so.